Following the fall of the Roman Empire, Europe entered its Dark Ages between 400 and 900 CE. With the often ruthless expansion of empire had come advances in science and culture. Maths and literacy were, for an exclusive few, the prerequisites of civilization building and the stockpiling of wealth. But now that period of history had come to an end, and the innovations of antiquity risked being lost. What prevented this was the soon-to-emerge Islamic Renaissance, or Golden Age. From small beginnings in the early 7th century, Islam had grown to constitute an empire by the founding of Baghdad in 762. It was a vast empire which spread from Syria to modern-day Iraq, through to southern China and West India, through Persia, modern-day Saudi Arabia, Egypt, North Africa and Spain. As well as being a key holy site for Islam, the city of Mecca in the Arabian Peninsula had long been a hub of trade and commerce. Trade allowed for the broad spread of ideas as well as commodities. Muslim merchants began to trade freely across Asia and beyond, spreading the intellectual developments and innovations from one region to the next. The decimal system from India, paper manufacturing from China, and medical knowledge from Persia, Greece and Rome. As the Islamic Empire expanded, new innovations were added to the discoveries of antiquity and preserved by Islamic scholars. Expansion brought with it the unification of religion and language. Arabic became the language of empire. A major increase in literacy and learning was made possible due to one development in particular. Midway through the 8th century, Chinese paper-making technology was brought to Samarkand at the eastern edge of empire. The technique had been acquired from Chinese prisoners following the defeat of the Tang dynasty in 751. From there, the technology was refined in Baghdad before being spread across the empire. Paper, mass-produced in water-powered pump mills from pulped rags, hemp and bark, replaced the cumbersome use of animal hides and papyrus. Public and private libraries were built, and the learning of antiquity was catalogued in encyclopedias and scholarly works. One particular medical encyclopedia, the Canon of Medicine, was compiled by the philosopher Ibn Sina in 1025 and would later be translated into Latin in the early 13th century. It would become a central medical authority during the European Renaissance. Great scientific progress was also made. Many of the ideas of antiquity were developed by Islamic practitioners, and it is very likely that the German astronomer Nicholas Copernicus was familiar with and drew upon the work of Islamic scientists. From the mid-8th to the 16th century, the Islamic Renaissance also brought with it an increase in artistic production, including ceramics, metalwork, woodwork, illustrated manuscripts, and calligraphy. Arabic philosophy would later be translated into Latin and would form the foundations that later European philosophers would build upon. Far from representing the so-called clash of civilizations, Islamic culture formed the basis of many supposedly Western ideas and values. The Islamic Renaissance was a golden age of science, medicine and culture, which bridged the gap between the innovations of antiquity and the European Renaissance and ushered in the modern era.